Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Kovak here, and I will be doing something a little bit different today. For this one, I am going to be doing the top 30 wild caught pets that I highly recommend to either new pet battlers or even veteran pet battlers who may not know the strengths of these pets and may want to go out and get them for themselves. Now keep in mind I said wild caught, so what do I mean by that? You go out in the world, the pet has a little green paw above it, you click it, you battle it, you cage it, and then you got it. It's called wild caught. Now, as a new pet battler, the main thing you're probably going to be going after are, of course, wild caught pets. You'll probably see them in the wild. You'll be like, ooh, another pet to add to my collection. So, yeah, here are probably the top 30 that I highly recommend you getting if like maybe you're just starting out, or like I said, a veteran who may not have any of these pets. Now we are mainly looking at PvP pet battles, not PvE. Although some of these could do well in PvE, we're mainly looking at PvP and how they will perform, where to get them, and probably the ability movesets that you may want to use on them, as well as the appropriate breed. There are an honorable mentions that I have right here because damn, it's just going to be a long list as it is. So yeah, at the end there is an honorable mention that I will go through that didn't quite make the list, but are decent. So without further ado, let's hop right into it. So first up right here we do have the Flurry Youngling. Flurry Youngling can be caught out in the Hellfire Peninsula. It has all available breeds to it, baseline stats for each breed. The main one you're going to be wanting is the DSS breed, of course, as it is the fastest, able to take advantage of blitz more. You're guaranteed a second hit if you go first and a 50% for the third hit. Triple snap absolutely sucks. Definitely don't recommend taking that. It's literally a chance 1 to 3 times, and if you're just the unluckiest person in the world, you can literally get one time over and over and over again. So yeah, definitely take blitz. Focus can be situational. It can help you get faster in case you're not faster already with blitz, but primarily you will be taking deflection, as it can be very useful for blocking an attack or maybe waiting out an undead on their undead turn. So quite great right there. You're generally going to be taking kick, as you should be going first 9 times out of 10. It'll be nice to get that interrupt there. I have seen some Flurry Younglings run Rampage, but I really don't recommend it. Kick is generally the way to go. So the build is basically blitz, deflection, and kick. Can be very useful for, let's say that you go for a kick first, and then you're just trying to wait out till you get kick again. You can use deflection just before it goes off. It's a pretty tanky pet, despite having just baseline health, because as how much evasiveness that you have here. So yeah, Flurry Youngling, pretty damn good pet, I'd have to say, as long as it's faster. So I definitely recommend going to pick that up. It is a humanoid, so it's got that sweet racial. Again, the best breed is going to be SS without a doubt. Next up right here we have the Guardling. Kind of same with the Flurry Youngling. You want the SS breed. It does have all breeds available to it. So it may take you a while to get the SS breed. Where do you get it? It is in Silithus, right out in front of the AQ40 entrance. You can only get this pet during the summertime, and coincidentally enough, summer is literally right around the corner. So if you don't have this pet, then definitely recommend going to get it when summer hits. So yeah, SS breed, definitely recommend getting that. Generally the build that you're going to want to go with is Crush, Sandstorm, and Blackout Kick. If you go with Whirlwind, you're not going to have a spammable ability to use, so that's why you usually want to go with Crush. I have seen some Guardlings go with Hawkeye, and it does pay off sometimes, but Sandstorm is just too good of an ability to pass up. And Blackout Kick, definitely, as long as you should be faster 9 times out of 10, just like the Flurry Youngling, so you'll be able to use Blackout Kick effectively. But I have seen some use Reckless Strike. It's just not as good as Blackout Kick. Now, the reason why you're going to want to run this build is because with Sandstorm you can reduce the damage you're taking, as well as doing significant damage back. I just got a problem with words or something. And also taking advantage of the blackout kit going first, like I said. Again, quite the tanky pet, even though only having baseline health. But yeah, and that sweet humanoid racial giving you like what, 70 health back every turn you do the damage, I think. But yeah, pretty great pet. Definitely recommend going to get it. Again, only can get it during summertime, which is almost here, so get it while you can. Next up we have the Sporling Sprout. Sporling Sprout, again, just like the other two, have every breed available to it, so it may take a while to get a very good breed of this pet. You get it out in Zangarmarsh. There are quite a bit of them out there. They're over there by that little tamer who looks just like the Sporling Sprout too. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Really, there are quite a bit of different good breeds for this thing. It's just not like SS or whatever. But the top three are going to be SS, HH, and probably Power. It is quite a tanky pet. The moveset you really want to go with is Jab, Leech Seed, and Crouch. But I have seen some Sporling Sprouts take the other abilities and do just as fine. Jab mainly, so you have a pretty high chance of hitting on the high end. It's pretty good ability overall, plus Father Dragonkin running around anyway. Charge is okay. I mean, it is a on-demand ability. It can be useful against, like, let's say Flurry users or something like that, but Jab is probably way better. Generally, you want to go with Leech Seed because that is part of the reason why Sporling Sprout's so tanky. Because you can use a Leech Seed and plus the little dot afterwards on Leech Seed, as well as your humanoid racial. And under Moonlight, that's going to be a lot of healing. But Creeping Fungus also pairs well with a Moonlight team. And then Crouch. Crouch is especially useful if you can go first, which the SS breed does, like I said, 9 times out of 10 go first. But yeah, I really don't recommend Spore Shrooms. Crouch is way better. Even on like an HH. The HH is just, damn, look at that health. That is so tanky. So yeah, really, those three are definitely the best breeds I recommend getting. So yeah, if you're interested, head out to Zangarmarsh, get you a Sporling Sprout. And yep. Next up here we have the Young Sand I was about to say something bad. The Young Sand Shifter. Where do you get it? It is in Nazmir. It does have multiple breeds. I unfortunately do not have the SS breed. I just decided to pick up the HH, but generally you're going to want the SS as it is quite fast. Good things it has going for it. It does have Scratch, which is great against undeads. It not only will do extra damage to undeads, but take less damage from them because it is an aquatic type. Carpnado, hands down, way better than Grass. Grass sucks. It only just prevents your enemy's pets from swapping, which is pretty dumb. And generally, you're gonna go with Rain Dance because, well, I mean, Dive is okay, especially on a faster pet like the Young Sand Shifter. But Rain Dance is especially useful in stuff like Cyclone teams. So, yeah, definitely. Recommend going to get this pet if you are interested. Again, it is in Nazmir. Next up we have the Dream Whelpling / the Emerald Proto Whelp. I did not put both on the list because they are generally the same thing. They have the same breeds. They're both Dragonkin. The only difference is like in their moveset. Dream Whelpling does have Sleeping Gas here instead of a what is it? I think it's Breath. And then it's got Toxic Skin here instead of that one heal that the Emerald Proto Whelp has. And then they both do have Emerald Dream. And then there's Healing Flame on the Dream Whelpling. Now, we are talking about the Emerald Proto Whelp here as well. But both of them, they just both hit insanely hard. Usually you want to go with Emerald Bite on both of them. Emerald Presence on the Dream Whelpling is probably Ancient Blessing on the Emerald Proto Whelp. Also, Emerald Presence is good on him too. You could really take Emerald Dream on either pet and do well. The Healing Flame for the Dream Whelpling will probably be better. I'll go ahead and bring up the Emerald Proto Whelp in case you don't know what I'm talking about. See, they basically have the same moveset. They just have different abilities. But Proto Strike could be good on the Emerald Proto Whelp as well. But yeah, Emerald Proto Whelp is in Sholazar Basin, and the Dream Whelpling is in the Emerald Nightmare raid. After you kill the boss, there'll be a bunch of Dream Whelplings that you and all your other raid members can get. Again, there are 3 breeds available. Highly recommend the Power breed as it does hit the hardest. So yeah, definitely recommend getting that if you're interested. Next up here we have the Shore Butterfly, which is in Zoldazar. So mainly for Horde players, but Alliance players you can get there too if you would like. Generally you're gonna want the Power breed. It probably is the best the best breed for it, but SS I guess could do okay. It is pretty fast. Main thing that you're gonna want to go with is Scratch, Wing Buffet over Sandstorm, because if you go to Cyclone route, you're just not going to do very much damage with Sandstorm up. So definitely recommend Wing Buffet over Sandstorm, and then Cyclone, because it's best on a Cyclone team, as it is power type, so Cyclone does hit pretty hard, and it is decently fast for a power type. So yeah, Scratch, Wing Buffet, and Cyclone for the Shore Butterfly. Alright, so next up here we have the Nether Faerie Dragon. Nether Faerie Dragon is caught out in Fairless. There are quite a bit of them, so if you go out there, you should have no problem getting you one. Best breed without a doubt is the SS breed. Just able to take advantage of going first with Evanescence. Moonfire is quite great. I have seen some run Cyclone, and that is perfectly fine. It is a pretty great Cyclone user. You could go with the Power too if you want, because I mean it'll have a harder hitting Cyclone. Evanescence is just overall better than Life Exchange, and damn is Arcane Blast way better than Slicing Wind. Holy crap, again, it's just like Triple Snap. It has a chance to hit 1-3 times, and yeah, pretty garbage ability I'd have to say. So Arcane Blast is the way to go there. Again, caught out in Fairless. Definitely recommend getting this pet. It is quite great, especially on a Moonlight team. Next up here we have the Crow slash, oh wait, no, the Gilnean Raven is not wild caught, but it's basically the same thing, but slash the Owls, because they basically do the same thing. They're just a darkness bird. So crows are caught out in the Dark Moon Island. They have a chance to be the backline pet when you fight, let's say, I think it's the Dark Moon Glowfly or something like that. But yeah, they have to pop up in the backline. Let's see, I mean, really any breed is good, but I probably would say the SS breed is the best, as damn, that is a lot of speed. I think that might actually be the same speed as an SS breed rabbit. But yeah, even with the whole nerf to the breeds with the crows or whatnot, they are still pretty great for PvP. Generally, you're going to want to go with Alpha Strike, as you should be going faster. 9 times out of 10 being a fast flying type. Call Darkness, take advantage of Nocturnal Strike. And I'll go ahead and bring up an owl for you. Here's an example of, oh, that's not wild caught, long-eared owl. This one is. So yeah, they basically have the same abilities. Call Darkness, Nocturnal Strike, but the first saw is pretty different. You could take Quills or Savage Talon. Either is quite good. But yeah, definitely recommend getting this pet. It's quite great on a Darkness team. So yeah, definitely recommend going to get that when the Dark Moon Fair comes about. Or you can go out and like High Mountain and get you an owl. So yeah. Next up we have the Flame Ring Moth. Basically any moth that's wild caught. I'd say the Flame Ring Moth might be the best moth. I could be wrong. I mean, some people might disagree, but I mean, it's the only moth that has burn, which is great against mechanical types. Really, with all moths, the luck of getting that sweet 25% chance to sleep with moth dust is quite great. Plus, it can hit quite hard. For the Flickering Moth, Healing Flame or Cocoon Strike are quite good, but generally you're probably going to go with Cocoon Strike to avoid an ability, as well as wait out one less turn for you to use Moth Dust again. Really, you could use Alpha Strike or Burn. Really doesn't matter. It probably will still perform quite well. Flickering Moth is out in the Timeless Isle, up on the mountains, I think. Yeah, I do love this pet. And what would this list be without a moth? I mean, am I right? Moths are pretty good. Really, it is about luck though when it comes to that moth dust sleep. So yeah, definitely recommend getting a moth if you haven't already. Next up we have the Jungle Beak slash the Blood Beaks, because they basically are the same thing except they're named differently. Power breed is the one you're going to want to go with, as it is the hardest hitting and decently fast. The main route you're going to want to go with is Peck, Rain Dance, and Nocturnal Strike. His Peck just hits ridiculously hard, and against Slicing Wind sucks. Rain Dance will buff your crit chance and hit chance by 50% for 2 rounds, and plus it is a pretty damn good heal, because on a power type it's going to heal for even more. So that's going to give your Nocturnal Strike a 100% chance to hit, as well as an extra chance to crit. And with the power type against a non-aquatic, non-dragonkin, and obviously not a magic type, it will do over 1,000 damage if it crits. So yeah, Jungle Beak, it's been a pretty great pet like throughout all these years, so no surprise that it would make it on this list. Very good pet. They are out in Gorgon along with Blood Beaks as well. Really doesn't matter, they do they do both do the same thing. Couldn't get the words out, but yeah, definitely recommend picking that up if you're interested. Next up here we have the Parasitic Boarfly, a pretty great tier 1 flyer that came out with BFA. What's so good about it? It has a power breed, which I definitely recommend going with, although the power speed could be good as well. You're definitely going to want to go with Flurry, as it is the best multi-hit ability in the game, able to take down stuff like decoys as well as bubble. And again, like we talked about before, Slicing Wind just sucks. Poison Lash or Lift Off are quite great. Generally, you're probably, well, I mean, it's debatable. You guys decide. Either or is good. If I had to choose, I probably would go with Lift Off. And then right down here is also optional. You could go with Drain Blood or Feed. They're both pretty great heals. I would go with Drain Blood personally. I mean, it does have one less round cooldown, and I think it'll heal for more. So yeah, it is out in Terragard Sound if you are interested in going to pick one up. Next up here we have the Shimmering Aquafly, pretty damn good pet, I'd have to say. It is pretty much like your wild caught version of Terraclaw Hatchling when they were running rampant back in WoD through Legion. What's so good about this pet? First of all, you're definitely going to want the power speed breed, as it is without a doubt the best breed, I'd say. It has the most speed along with the highest attack power. You do get it out in Val'sharah. The main moves that you're going to want to go with is Alpha Strike, Healing Stream, and Dodge, because Dodge on a flying type pet, as well as a heal, just makes it that much better. Being a flying type, you should be able to go first with Dodge 9 times out of 10. And Healing Stream is not only good for the Aquafly, but great for aquatic types that you have on your team, as it will heal half of the healing to your backline aquatic types. So say like an Infra Crab or something. If he's low and he's on the backline, you pop Healing Stream, healing both your Aquafly as well as that Infra Crab on a short 3-round cooldown, so pretty damn good. So yeah, I really love this pet. I definitely recommend anybody interested in doing well in PvP pet battles to get this pet. It is too damn good. I'm surprised we do not see a lot more of this pet, like we saw the Terraclaw Hatchling. But hey, maybe after seeing this video, we might see more of them. So yeah, moving on to the next one, we have the Skyfin Juvenile. Skyfin Juvenile is out in Macquarie. Pretty much, I'd say any breed could do well, but definitely the power speed as well as the HS breeds are probably the best way, well, I mean the best breeds to go with overall. Again, Wild Winds over Slicing Wind. No need to discuss why it's better over it. Once again, Wild Magic or Glowing Toxin can do quite well, although Wild Magic is probably better. Obviously Wing Buffet over Predatory Strike, because as a flyer you should be going first, and Wing Buffet just hits damn hard, as well as switching in the lowest health pet on your opponent's team. Pretty good pet, I'd have to say, overall. Again, it's in Macquarie if you're interested. And yeah, just pretty great pet. Next up we have the Spirit Crab, one of my favorite undead pets, as well as being probably one of my favorite wild caught pets there are. It's always been good, even though back then it was like really damn good at Mist. And yeah, it's just been great overall. Really, anything you run with is quite good. You're gonna want the HH breed. It is out in Ghostlands on the coast. There are a crap ton of them, so you should have no problem getting you one. Definitely the HH breed. I mean, why would you go with the HS? You're still gonna be slow anyway. That's just a crap ton of health, quite a bit of attack power, and you can counter your own counter being critters more effectively than they can counter you, because you can either run Snap or Amplify Magic. Either or is good. I usually take Amplify Magic. Surge will screw with Flurry user critters, for example. It's quite good. Whirlpool's good as well, but generally you're probably going to go with Surge. Shell Shield is great for just reducing the damage you take. Rod is good too, as it can help other pets on your team turn your opponent into an undead, so you can do like critter damage to them, do extra damage to them. So really anything you want to go with will do good. The build I would go with is Amplify Magic, Surge, and probably Rod. So yeah, again, out in the Ghostlands, definitely recommend getting this pet. Absolutely love it. And it's an undead, so it's got that sweet, sweet racial. Alright, next up we have the Unborn Valkyrie. What would this list be without this lovely lady here? She has multiple spawn points out in Northrend. Fortunately enough for me, I've caught all three of mine, I think, in the same exact place, which is kind of funny. Really, either breed is good, Balance or HH. She's just good overall. The build you're generally going to want to go with is Shadow Shot, Curse of Doom, and Haunt. Haunt is just really damn good even after the nerf. Well, probably not as good, but it's still pretty decent. I have seen some run on Holy Ascension, and that could be because of the whole Haunt nerf, and it's just as viable too. Let's see. Yeah, Shadow Shock just has a higher end to hit than Shadow Slash. And Curse of Doom just hits crazy hard after 4 rounds. On top of that sweet, sweet undead racial. So yeah, definitely recommend going to get this pet. Again, there are multiple spawn points out in Northrend for this pet, so keep that in mind. Next up we have the Gleam Hoof Fawn. Pretty damn good pet, I'd have to say. I don't use it very often, surprisingly, but it is out in Val Shara. The breed you generally want to go with is power breed, as it does hit quite hard, as well as has the most healing potential. Generally going to want to go with Hoof, Nature's Ward, and Headbutt. Although Bleat could be good too, because I mean that is a pretty good AoE heal, quite similar to Haunting Song, which is actually another great AoE heal. Nature's Ward, you throw it up and you can swap out with it. It'll stay up for 5 turns, but you are considered an elemental, so you will take extra damage from aquatic types while Nature's Ward is up. and Headbutt just hits crazy hard, as well as has that sweet 25% chance to stun. Man, words today. But yeah, Gleam Hoof on again out in Val'sharah. Generally want that power breed, like I said. And yeah, definitely recommend getting that. Next up we have the Frostfire Rat, a pet that's always been well during damn what, I can't get the words out. You're generally gonna want to go with Flurry, Crouch, and Call Darkness. Although Refuge is pretty damn good. Generally you're gonna want to run this if you're doing, like, say, Critter Family Brawler and you have all critters on your team anyway. That way they can take advantage of that shield as well. You can run Sneak Attack with Call Darkness. It's just that you still have that 90%, oh, well, 10% chance, I should say, to miss. As Flurry, even if you miss the first attack, you can hit the second as well as the third if you're faster. Which you should be, because, I mean, look at that speed. So, really any breed could do well, but the SS is probably the best, and it is out in Frostfire Ridge, so yeah. Definitely recommend picking that pet up. I really do enjoy this pet. Really great on the Darkness team. So next up we have the Alpine Hair. Pretty much any wild-caught SS breed rabbit can fit in this category, mainly because of their crazy speed, as well as being able to take advantage of Flurry, which is, again, the best multi-hit ability in the game, dodge, as well as burrow. So basically what you're going to do is, depending on what you're going against, is throw a dodge, go for a Flurry, burrow, come back up, and you should have dodged, like, what, three attacks or something, and then when you come back up, there'll be one more turn until dodge comes back up, so you either go for a Flurry or swap out, then you just rinse and repeat. Rabbits have always been great. They're found all over the world, but the Alpine Hair can be found in Dunmorrow as well as Winter Spring, if in case you just want to get this particular rabbit. Yeah, overall, pretty much any SS breed rabbit will fit in this category. Wildcaught anyway. So yeah, keep that in mind. Next up, we have the giant Woodworm. Now, not very many people use this pet, as well as know that its unstable shield does way more damage than it actually says it does. It actually does 309. If it is power speed breed, it is based on your attack power. The basic attack right here, Skitter, is 309, and that is because it's power speed, which is why unstable shield does 309. Yeah, generally you are going to want the power speed breed as it is the fastest and probably the best breed overall. So you can take advantage of Blitz if you're faster, but if you're not, generally you're going to want to pair this pet up with a Dazzling Dance user so it can get faster. And then I definitely recommend taking Burrow. Bark Skin is okay, but Burrow is generally the way to go. And then obviously Unstable Shield over Super Sticky Goo. If you're faster, you can throw up Unstable Shield because you'll be going first, and they'll be forced to hit you. And they'll be taking that nice 309 damage. And plus, you'll technically be getting 3 rounds out of it with you going first instead of the 2. Overall, pretty great pet. Not very used, but yeah, definitely recommend getting it. It is in Terragard Sound in case you are interested. Alright, next up we have the Spectral Spinner. Now, in case you guys don't know, in your little filter, if you do have Rematch and you look up the wild-caught pets, Spectral Spinner as well as the Ghost Maggot and the Ghostly Rat, they do not pop up for some weird reason, but they are wild-caught, I assure you. They are all found in your garrison. You have to have the little Hollows In decorations up, and they're literally spawned all over your garrison continuously. As you like kill or capture one, another one pops up. So really, you can farm out the best breed very, very easily. Now, the Spectral Spinner, generally you're going to want the SS breed. Power speed is good too, but that extra speed is just too damn good to pass up. You generally want to go with Bone Bite, Blinding Poison, as well as Spectral Strike. Blinding Poison does consider them as being blinded, so you technically have a 100% chance to hit them with Spectral Strike, but if they swap out, it will be 50%. And Bone Bite's just a great basic attack overall over Consume, because Consume does have that 1 round cooldown. Overall, this is a pretty great pet, I'd have to say. I'd say it's tier 1. Some may argue, but yeah, again, you have to have your hollows in, decorations put up in your Warlords of Draenor Garrison in order to get you one. So yeah, definitely recommend getting this pet. Next up we have the Void Shardling. Now, unfortunately, there aren't very many, well actually this is the only magic type I have on this top 30 list that I consider quite great PvP. The Void Shardling, it is out in Macquarie. Generally you're going to want the SS breed, of course, because, I mean, you'll be able to take advantage of Phase Shift, being faster. Definitely recommend going for Arcane Blast over Arcane Explosion, and then Soul Rush, just a great ability. It's quite hard, as well as that sweet 25% chance to stun. So yeah, too good to pass up. Plus, with him having so little health, you could take advantage of your 35% magic ratio that much better. So again, he's out in Macquarie. Definitely recommend going to get this pet. It is quite great. So yeah, next up we have the Infra Crab. Now, no surprise, Infra Crab is on this list. It is one of the best wild caught, as well as one of the best pets in the game still. Why is it so great? First of all, Power breed is generally the one you're going to want to go with. It is one of the hardest hitting pets in the game, as well as being the hardest hitting Surge user in the game. Generally, you're going to want to go with Surge, although Snap is quite good as well. I mean, look at that, 377 attack. That is quite the power right there. You could go with Renewing Mist or Healing Wave. Either or is good. Generally, you will want to go with Healing Wave because of your high attack power. Healing you sometimes for over 600, even though it does say 565. Generally, you're going to want to go with Shell Shield because it has quite the damage absorption, being in a power breed. But Whirlpool is quite good as well because it just hits crazy hard. So yeah, very versatile pet. You can go with anything and do quite well. It's just so tanky. The main counters of this pet are going to be darkness teams, I would say, but yeah, it is in Dread Waste. There aren't very many spawn points, I don't think, but good news is there are only 2 breeds. The HH breed is decent, but Power is definitely the better of the 2. I highly recommend getting this pet. It is just that damn good. It can sometimes 1v3 pets. It's just that freaking OP. Next up we have the Flickering Argonite. Now again, with magic types, this is the only elemental type that I have on this top 30 list. There aren't very many elemental types that do quite well either on their own or in a very good team, but Flickering Argonite will do the best if it is in a darkness team. Where do you get it? It is in Crocoon. It only has 1 breed available to it, so if you totally want to just farm them out until you get a rare, you sure could. So HS breed has quite a bit of health, decent attack power, and decent speed. The main moves that you will want to go with is Feedback. Spark is only good if you're going first. If you're going to run Spark, I definitely recommend running it with a Dazzling Dance user. I really don't like Crystal Overload, just because it will deal damage to you, but you will do extra damage to your opponent. Restoration is usually the way you want to go, because on a darkness team, he is considered an elemental, so he will not take that 50% reduction with healing, as well as going first can be useful. Let's say like against an Alpha Strike user or a Flurry user, it can screw them over, as well as you getting a nice heal. And then Surge of Light, which is another reason why it has to be on a darkness team to perform well. It cannot throw up its own darkness, and Surge of Light will stun the pet 100% of the time if the weather is darkness. And being an elemental type, it will not miss unless if your opponent like dodges or something. But without darkness, it's only a 25% chance. So yeah, it's only really good if it's on a darkness team. It's very lucky that it made it on the list, but I reckon that I'd throw in at least one pet from each family type on the list. But yeah, not very many. There are some in the honorable mentions, but we'll get to that later. So yeah, Flickering Argonite again in Crocoon. Only one breed. And yeah, I get it if you're interested. Next up here we have the Alpine Fox Sling. Definitely one of the best pets in the game. I was about to say pet. It's always been well throughout the years. Alpine Fox Sling is in Kunlai Summit. The breed you're definitely going to want to get is the SS breed. Back when Terraclaw Hatchlings were running rampant with Dazzling Dance Up, the SS breed is actually faster than the damn Terraclaw Hatchling, which was one of the main reasons why it's such a damn good pet. It is pretty much the go-to pet if you want to throw a Dazzling Dance user on the team. The moveset you're definitely going to want to go with is Flurry, Crouch, and Dazzling Dance, obviously. Flurry, there's really no need to explain why Flurry's so great on him, especially beyond a faster pet, as well as his Beast Racial. He can be quite tanky. Going into his Beast Racial with Crouch up, taking reduced damage, as well as dealing extra damage with your Beast Racial. And Dazzling Dance just makes him that much faster, as well as helping other pets on your team become faster, like for example the Flickering Argonite, if you wanted to run like Spark or something. So yeah, again, Kunlai Summit, I highly recommend getting this pet for any new people or veterans that for some reason don't have this pet. I mean, what are you doing? You have to go get this pet. It's just that damn good. Such a great pet. Alright, next up we have is the Rose Taipan. Rose Taipan is basically the wild caught equivalents to the Death Adder Hatchling. The good thing is you don't have to pay any gold to get it. It is wild caught. I will let you know that way back in Legion, when I was trying to get an SS breed, it literally took me a long while until I find the very first SS breed that I could. I'd say it took about like maybe 50 snakes or something like that. It was insane. So you may be looking for quite a while. There are 7 breeds available to it, so at least it's not as bad as, say, the Sportling Sprout. But, I mean, 7 is quite a bit. And definitely you want the SS breed, as it'll be able to take advantage of Blinding Poison or Paralyzing Venom. Paralyzing Venom is good too, but it's only good if you're faster. Excuse me. I was about to cough right there. Oh, as I was saying, so Blinding Poison. Definitely going to want to take that. Paralyzing Venom, like I said, is good too. Poison Fang, definitely. I have seen a rare few run Vicious Fang. And I guess it could be good if you're maybe running Crouch, so you could take less damage as well as ramp up your Vicious Fang. But generally, you're going to want to go with Poison Fang as well as Puncture Wound. Blinding Poison does consider the opponent poison. So if you want to go for Blinding Poison and your opponent's going to be like, oh, okay, whatever, he's just going to throw like a Poison Fang on me. Then you pop it with a Puncture Wound and he's like, oh crap, well I just took all that damage when I could have swapped out. And only took 280. Or 350 if you have your Beast Racial. It can hit quite hard. Again, it is in Stormheim. And the SS breed is definitely the way to go. So, yeah, highly recommend getting this pet if, like, say, you don't want to spend the crazy gold or farm out the frickin' Death Adder Hatchling. It is basically the same pet. Next up, we have the Scalded Basilisk Hatchling, a pet that you don't see very much in the meta, unfortunately. I really do enjoy this pet, I'd say, and Disco Doggy as well. Oops, I think I might have accidentally hit the mic right there. Sorry about that, but yeah, it only has 1 breed available to it. I mean, no, it doesn't. It has 2, but the breed that you're going to want to go with is the HS breed, as it is the fastest breed. It can be found in Blades Edge Mountains. The moveset you definitely want to go with is Crystal Prison, Feign Death, and Thrash. If you're faster, you can guarantee yourself a second hit and have like a 50% chance to get a third. Crystal Prison is only good if you're going first. You get that stun as well as the next turn to basically get a free ability off. And then let's say you have a bad matchup or you just want to switch out. Well, a free switch I should say. You can use Feign Death. It will swap in your highest health pet. But it is an 8-round cooldown, so you want to try and use it situationally. You could either use it to swap like I said, or let's say that you're going against an undead and you take the undead down, but if you take another hit you're gonna die and it'll force a draw. Use Feign Death to dodge that turn. Or it can be used to dodge like big nukes, like for example Curse of Doom. If there's one turn left on Curse of Doom on your Skull Basilisk Hatchling, Feign Death, you will not take any of that damage. So yeah, pretty great pet. Unfortunately, don't see it very often. It's only really good if it's faster. So if you want to pair it with a Dazzling Dance user, you can. But I mean, that's like usually going to be 2 beasts on the team, unless if you want to use a like a Royal P-Check or something like that. But yeah, again, it's in Blaze Edge Mountains in case you're interested in getting it. Really love this pet, and yeah, quite good. Next up we have the baby Lhari Raptor, a pet that you also don't see very often. It is in Zoldazar. It's in like this little group of raptors. You know, these are like the baby raptors of these the big raptor mobs. So yeah, you have to be careful of those mobs attacking you. There are only 4 breeds available to it, but without a doubt the SS breed is the best, as it can take advantage of survival. Really, you can run whatever you want, except probably Devour, because Devour just sucks. Really does. There are abilities like it that do the same thing, except they hit a hell of a lot harder. For example, Ravage. Generally, you're going to want to go with like Rip, Black Claw, and Survival. But I have tested, and Primal Cry is quite good too. So yeah, don't overlook that. And Claw can be good too, in case you want to run that with Primal Cry. But Survival is where it's at, man. Because if you're faster, you throw it up and basically get 2 extra turns. And if your opponent doesn't have any AoE, you could just simply swap out. And when your Raptor gets brought back in, throw up Survival again, and you get that extra 2 turns again. Another thing you could do is, let's say you're going against someone who has a minefield on their team. You throw up Survival, survive for like that extra turn or 2, swap out. They could throw down their minefield. They're like, ha ha ha, I'm going to get one of your pets when you swap back in. When your pet dies or you want to swap, you swap in that 1 health baby Lhari Raptor. And let's just say that your opponent may or may not be banging their head on their screen, only getting that 1 health Raptor with their minefield. So that can be quite funny. So yeah, again, in Zoldazar, you're gonna want the SS breed, like I said. Pretty decent pet, I'd have to say. Alright, and now we are down to the last 3, which are all aquatic types. We have the Coastal Bounder right here. A pretty underrated pet, I'd have to say. Not very used by many. I do enjoy this pet though. It is in Nazmir. The breed that you without a doubt want to get is the SS breed, because you'll be able to take advantage of Tongue Lash. Frog Kiss is not that good anymore, especially with that 1 round cooldown. You really could go with either Rain Dance or Healing Stream. If maybe you're doing a all aquatic family brawler, Healing Stream might be better. But generally you're going to want to pair this pet up with a Cyclone team, so you can take advantage of Rain Dance that much more. And really, Croak or Mudslide are quite good. Mudslide can be a detriment to yourself, because if you are running a Cyclone team, you're going to be swapping quite a bit, and it'll just keep you in, and that's quite annoying to deal with. So usually Croak is the way to go. Croak with Rain Dance up, and you do get a crit. It is 420 damage. It's okay. It's an okay ability, I guess. It just reduces your enemy's crit chance by 100% for 4 rounds, so I guess that could be useful in case, like, for example, the only way you're going to lose is if your opponent gets crit and you throw up Croak, and then you basically deny them that 5% chance of getting crit on you. Overall, pretty great pet, I'd have to say. I definitely would call it tier 1 simply because of its SS breed and just its juicy moveset overall. Again, it is a Nazmir in case you're interested in getting one. Next up here we have the Shadowback Crawler. Again, like the frickin' Rose Taipan, it did take me quite a long while to find the SS breed. It has all the breeds available to it, unfortunately, so that can be kind of a pain in the butt when finding the right breed for it. It is in Stormsong Valley. The best breed, without a doubt, is the SS breed. Kind of like the Scalded Basilisk Hatchling with Crystal Prison. You're going to want to go first with that to take advantage of it more often. Call Darkness, Spiny Carapace is just not that good. It's okay if you can get it up a second time and do like triple damage or whatever. But Call Darkness is just infinitely better. And you're generally going to want to run Shadow Slash. And I should know because, man, doing my all-aquatic family brawler video, going against all those humanoids, Shadow Slash would have been very, very useful. But Water Jet is just as good. I'd just say take this because there are quite a bit of humanoids out in the meta right now. So yeah, again, it is in Stormsong Valley. SS breed's the one you're going to go with, but I guess the case could be made for the HH and Power if maybe you want to change up your movesets a bit. Maybe go with Headbutt, Call Darkness, and either of these will be good too. But yeah, definitely going to want the SS breed. Highly recommend getting this pet if you're interested. And now, last but not least, and definitely my favorite pet in the game when it comes to PvP pet battles, as well as being my favorite wild-caught pet, is the Hermit Crab. Now, the Hermit Crab has a lot of great things going for it. So first of all, it's in Vol'dun, in case you're not aware. There are a crap ton of them. They are on the coast, so very easy to get right there. Has literally one breed available. So if you want to do what I did, which was farm out a rare, you totally could. There's really no reason to waste a stone on it. It has, again, like I said, one breed SS, which is the best breed that it could possibly have for it. It has overinflated stats for an SS breed, way more attack power, and a hell of a lot more speed than it should. It is only like 8 points shy of a SS breed rabbit at 357, so that just goes to show how fast this damn thing is. For example, it's faster than the Fiendish Imp. It is faster than the Ore Eater. It is faster than, let's see, what are a couple others? Young Sand Shifter, I think is 345, so it's faster than that too. It's just faster than a lot of damn pets except rabbits and obviously flying types when they're above their racial. The moveset you generally want to go with is Fish Slap, Shell Armor, and Dive. Now, I have seen other Hermit Crabs run these abilities as well, and they do just as fine. If you want to run Pinch, you totally could, because you could just throw up Shell Armor or Bubble. That way you'll have time to ramp up your Pinch. But if you do switch out, Pinch will reset, unfortunately, so that's why Fish Slap is usually the best way to go. It is the, I believe, the second hardest hitting Fish Slap user, only second to the Cold Light Surf Runner, which is literally one attack power more, which is kind of funny, I'd have to say. Yeah, so Shell Armor usually is a lot better than Bubble, especially on a fast pet like this, but Bubble is just as good, I guess. At least you can swat with it, with Bubble up. Let's see, Dive or Whirlpool. Oh, another thing about Bubble, It does not count as an object like decoy, so if your opponent like uses cleanup, it only does one charge of it and not both. So I just thought I'd point that out there in case you're going against like an enchanted broom. Dive and whirlpool. Dive's generally the way to go, especially being a faster pet. It'll also help you get one less turn on shell armor before it comes back up, or bubble. Whirlpool is okay. It does hit hard, but dive is definitely the way to go. This is definitely my biggest recommended pet for any new pet battler, as well as maybe a veteran who does not, for whatever reason, have this pet already. It's just that damn good. Absolutely love it. My favorite pet without a doubt, and it just absolutely destroys in PvP, man. I mean, my biggest rival, he cannot do anything about it. His team is Fiendish Shimp, Frostwolf Ghost Puff, and Night Captain Murky. This is the one pet he cannot do squat about when it comes to using my counter team versus him. It's just that damn good. And yeah, highly, I cannot stress it enough how much you should get this pet. New or veteran, does not matter. It's just that damn good. Again, Voldoon, only one breed, so you could totally farm out a rare. So yeah, that is the top 30 list. I do have an honorable mention, as they are not. I'd say they're not as good as these pets, but I guess there can some may disagree. And plus, I don't want to make it that long of a list. So oh, I accidentally put that pet twice. Well, so honorable mentions, we do have Entorin Bile Scourge. They are out in Entorin Waste. Generally, you're going to want to go with Bone Bite. Confusing Sting is good too. Drain Blood or Consume Corpse, both are quite good. We have the Blighted Squirrel and Infected Squirrel. Infected Squirrel is generally going to be good on a Moonlight team with its Creeping Fungus, as well as Stampede increased damage. And a Blighted Squirrel is generally going to be good on a Bleed team with Wood Chipper, Adrenaline Rush to get off more Wood Chippers, or Rapid Strike. Let's see. Oh, I forgot to mention where they're from. So Blighted Squirrel, Silver Pine Forest, and Infected Squirrel. It can be in a number of places. Silver Pine Forest, just like the other squirrel, or Eastern Plague Lands, as well as Blood Mist Isles. Alright, so for some reason, I don't know why I put in this pet twice. Blind Rat is kind of like the Frostfire Rat, except it's not as good because its SS breed is not as fast. But pretty much going to run the same moveset as the Frostfire Rat anyway. You can find this pet in the Dalaran sewers. You're going to pretty much want to run Flurry, Crouch, and Call Darkness. I have the Power breed, so I would run as a Power breed Sneak Attack, Crouch, and Call Darkness. Golden Beetle is from Zoldazar. The unfortunate thing about the Golden Beetle is why I think that the Giant Woodworm is a lot better than Golden Beetle. Is not only is it faster than the Golden Beetle, but it can actually like ditch out quite a bit the damage to the Golden Beetle with Burrow. I mean, they do both have Burrow, I guess, but the way you're gonna want to go is Flurry, Shell Armor, and either of these are good, but really it's all about being faster. And its fastest breeds only have 289, which is why I did not include it on the top 30 list, but can be decent with a Dazzling Dance user. So yeah, it is in Zoldazar again, so you can get this pet if you are interested. Now, here are the magic types that I thought are okay, but they are not quite as good as that Void Shardling that we mentioned earlier. Arcane Gorger, basically because it's an SS breed and has Flurry. It is out in Macquarie. Not too much to say about the pet, just that it's decent at best. Sticky Oozling. I really did consider putting this on the top 30, but I mean, there's just so many other pets that outshine this pet for PvP anyways. I do have the HH breed, but the HS can be situationally good, I guess, with taking advantage of Phase Shift. It's basically like a magic type version of the Restless Shadeling. It is out in Nazmir. Definitely recommend the HH or the HS breed. And the moveset I would go with is really either or of these, but I'd probably go with Ooze Touch, Sewage Eruption, which is basically like an Entangling Roots, except it's a magic type ability. Only go with Phase Shift if like you're using the HS breed, that way you can take advantage of it more. And then probably go with Moonfire, that way you can do extra damage with your Sewage Eruption and either two of these abilities. Overall, I'd say it's an okay pet when it comes to being wild caught and PvP pet battles, but there's just way more pets that outshine it. Next up we have the Fel Flame. I was thinking about putting this one in top 30 as well, but generally you see this for like PvE stuff, but it can be okay for PvP. The thing about PvP though is a lot of people can see what's coming their way. What I mean by that is the general route you're going to want to go with is your Conflagrate build. Throwing up a burn, and then going for Conflagrate, which is just a heavy hitting ability and does extra damage if the target is burning. And a lot of people see that coming, so they're like, okay, I'll just either swap out or dodge it. Which is why this is only in the honorable mentions. You can get the Fel Flame out in Shadowmoon Valley or Tanan Jungle. And pretty much all breeds are good. I just prefer the H-Power breed over the other three, but yeah, really, you can go with any breed and pretty much any moveset, and it'll do well. Generally, you're going to want Conflagrate, like I said. It just hits quite hard, especially if they're burning. Alright, and next up we have Stormstruck Fever. This is another pet that I was thinking about putting on the top 30, but I'd just say it's too slow to really be that good. I mean, it's a heavy hitting pet. It can take advantage, I guess, of, well, I think buried treasure is just a percentage. It's not really based on attack power per se. I'm not too sure. I just don't use it very often on this pet. But it is out in Stormheim. It only has 2 breeds available to it. Definitely recommend Power. Really, you can go with either of these abilities. I probably would recommend Tail Slap just so you have a spammable ability. But Jolt, if you go with Jolt, you're going to want to treat it like it's a Bone Serpent. Interweave your abilities. Could probably go with Jolt, Lightning Shield, Jolt, or like Discharge. Just interweaving them. That way you'll have a lesser chance of getting ability locked, although at some point you will be if you do take Jolt, but with Tail Slap you don't have to worry about that. Buried Treasure, again, like I said, it's only like 25%. Could be wrong, but I mean, with its attack power, that's the reason why it could be wrong, because healing is based off your attack power. Lightning Shield is great if you're faster, but with that low speed, you're pretty much not going to be faster than anything unless you have Dazzling Dance to help you out. Beaver Dam is just, I'd say, a pretty garbage ability when compared to something like Decoy. If it worked like Decoy, it would be pretty damn good. But basically, it blocks 2 attacks, and this can be either yours as well as your opponent. So it's basically like a what's that one ability that Twilight Clutch Sister has? It's slipping my mind right now. It's basically like a Prismatic Barrier, except it's unique to mainly beavers. So, which is why Discharge is the main way to go. It just hits damn crazy hard, but you will be considered a critter for quite a few rounds, so you'll be taking extra damage from beast attacks. So, yeah, again, it's in Stormheim. Power is the way you're going to want to go. And yeah, recommend getting this pet if you're interested. Tiny Twister, I know a lot of people probably were looking forward to maybe seeing it on the top 30, but it's just, it's a pretty underrated pet, I'd have to say. I do enjoy this pet, don't get me wrong, but I mean, there's just so much faster pets in the meta that will that just pretty much outshine the Tiny Twister. It is a pretty good pet, I'd have to say, if it's faster. So you're going to want to go with Wild Winds over Slicing Wind, Bash, if you're faster, you could take advantage of that. Generally, you're going to want to go with the HS breed because it is the fastest breed it has. And Flyby just absolutely sucks. There's really no need for an explanation for that. And Cyclone or Call Lightning are good, but you can't put it on a. Oh crap! That horn was loud. I thought that was an IRL for a second there. Damn, that was loud. But you can put it on a Rain Dance team if you want to. But Call Lightning is usually the way to go, though. Which I'm not sure why I have Cyclone selected. I might have had it on like a Rain Dance team or something like that. And you get it out in Arafi Highlands. Damn, words today. And yeah, 4 breeds, HS is definitely the way to go if you are interested in getting this pet. Next up, we have the Mongoose Pup. Mongoose Pup, I really wanted to put this on the top 30 because I really do enjoy this pet. It is out in town, long steps. The reason I didn't put it on there is pretty much because of its health, and flying type is just going to be able to destroy this pet because it'll just do less damage with Gnaw and stuff like that. But the build you're going to want to go with is Gnaw, Survival, and Dive because of its fast 357 speed. It does have 2 breeds, but like I said, SS breed is the way to go. That way you could take advantage of getting that extra damage in with Gnaw, as well as Survival, kind of like the babies and the Lhari Raptor. If they have no AoE, you could totally swap it out and either use it for like a minefield or bring it back in to throw up Survival again, go for a Gnaw and then a Dive. Prolonging before you die. Surge is good, but like I said, Dive is a hell of a lot better on a faster pet, especially for the Mongoose Pup. Now back in Mist, Mongoose Pup was pretty much the go-to when it came to countering the meta, which was Death Adder Hatchling and Unborn Valk. But nowadays, it's a decent tier 2 pet, I'd have to say. They're just a bunch of great flying type pets like the Shimmering Aquafly that will just destroy this pet. But still a pretty fun pet to use in case you're interested. It is in town long steps once again. And yeah, I love the Mongoose Pup, I'd have to say. Alright, the last 3 that we have for honorable mentions are the Kunlai Runt. I was debating on putting this on the top 30, but like I said, kind of like the Fel Flame, you could see what's coming your way. Unless if you're one of those special snowflakes who go for Frost Shock and then a Thrash. That is somewhat viable, I'd say. Probably more viable on the Power Speed breed though. But generally, the way you're going to want to go is take down Frost Shock and Deep Freeze. Frost Shock will decrease their speed by 25% for 2 rounds, as well as consider them chill, which is where Deep Freeze comes in handy. It does a crap ton of damage, especially on the power type, and will stun them. It has a 100% chance to stun them if they are considered chilled. And the main thing that you could do to prevent this is swap out, that way it's only a 25% chance. Or bring in a critter, because for 1, they won't get stunned because they're a critter, and for 2, they take less damage from Deep Freeze. So yeah, if you're gonna be running this build right here, power is definitely the way to go. You can do it on the Power Speed breed too, but on the Power Speed breed, I usually want to do Frost Shock and Thrash, since it does have that extra speed to help it out. But yeah, like I said, this is generally the way to go. Only Thrash if you have a Power Speed breed. Mangle, not that good. And Rampage is okay, I'd have to say. It is in Kunlai Summit, in case you're not aware. Hence the name Kunlai Runt. And yeah, I'd pick it up if you're interested. Next up we have the Cogblade Raptor. Now this pet can be caught out in Blade's Edge Mountains. Has 3 breeds available to it. SS breed being the best, without a doubt. Being able to take advantage of batters. Guaranteed a second hit if you go first. And like I said, like a 50% chance to get that 3rd hit with batter. If you're not faster already. You can use either Overtune or Screech. Both are quite good. Generally, you're going to want to go with Overtune, as it does give you extra speed. And I think it... No, actually, they do the same amount of damage. But Screech does last like 2 turns extra, but it only decreases by 25%. But either of these are good. And generally, you're going to want to go with Exposed Wounds. I'm not saying that Repair is a bad way to go, but Exposed Wounds is definitely better, especially pairing it up with your batter. You'll be hitting for 210 every hit with Exposed Wounds up on a non-beast and non-elemental type. So yeah, pretty decent pet. I wanted to list on the top 30, but I just say that it gets outshined quite a bit. Pretty underrated pet, I'd have to say, but it is pretty decent. So keep that in mind. Once again, it's in Blaze Edge Mountains if you're interested. And yeah, pretty decent pet overall. Alrighty, now that was quite the list. Now, I could have easily included a bunch of other wild-caught pets, but that would be a long video, so I just narrowed it down to 30. As well as a couple of honorable mentions. Now, there are a crap ton of other wild-caught pets. I'm not saying they're not good for PvP. These are just the ones that I definitely recommend for any new pet battler or veteran who are not aware of the strengths of these pets. But yeah, I really hope this helps anybody out who's just either entering pet battles, or like I said, a veteran who may not know. I have met quite a bit of new pet battlers throughout the couple of weeks, and look at that guy. He's got a battle pet right there. You never know. He could be a new pet battler. Maybe even a fan of mine. I'm not sure. What the hell is this? Okay, that was weird. But anyway, yeah, this is mainly for any new pet battler, or I'm gonna say it again, any veteran who's not aware of the strengths of these pets. But yeah, like I said, all of these pets are wild caught. You don't have to spend any gold to get them. Just have to go out, cage them, and then you have them. Some of them can be harder to get simply because of like spawn retime. Like, say, the Unburnt Valkyrie. But yeah, they are all wild caught. This is my top 30 list. Some people may disagree with some of the ones on the list, or may feel like there are others that should be on the list, which if you feel that way, please feel free to let me know down in the comments. I would love to know what you guys think. But yeah, I figured I'd put out this guide. Yeah. Overall, top 30 pets I definitely recommend for PvP pet battles. Really hope you guys enjoyed. Like rating for this video will be highly appreciated, as I would like to get this out to as many new pet battlers as I can. Let me know, you guys. Let me know if you like these kind of videos. I tend to usually do a off video from what I usually do, which is live PvP pet battles. But yeah, please let me know what you guys think. Really hope you guys enjoyed. This is Kovac, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.